One evening, as the sun was setting, a little girl was walking home when a dark storm came. Rain began to fall, and soon she was completely wet. She ran toward home, but each time lightning flashed, she stopped, looked up, and smiled. Her father rushed out and wrapped a blanket around her. He asked, "Why did you stop and smile at the lightning?" She replied, "Because God was taking my picture." Setbacks reminds us that life's storms will come, but they should not destroy our faith. Like the girl who smiled during the lightning, we are called to look up and trust that God is still with us. Romans 5:3-5 teaches that tribulation can produce perseverance, character, and hope. This lesson encourages us to see setbacks not as reasons to give up, but as opportunities to grow stronger in our relationship with God. One evening, Jesus and his disciples entered a boat to cross to the other side. But while Jesus was sleeping, a strong storm came, and the waves began to beat against the boat. The disciples were very afraid and cried, "Jesus, don't you care that we are about to perish?" Jesus woke up, spoke to the wind and the sea, and everything became calm, teaching us that when life becomes difficult, we should not doubt God's love, but trust that Jesus is with us and can calm every storm. One day, a woman who had been sick for many years heard that Jesus was passing by. She was very weak, but she believed that Jesus could heal her, so she slowly pushed through the big crowd.
As she came close to Jesus, she said in her heart,
"If I can just touch his clothes, I will be well."
Then she stretched out her hand and touched the edge of Jesus' garment.
Immediately, she felt strong again.
And she knew that Jesus had healed her.
Jesus stopped, turned around, and asked,
"Who touched me?"
The woman came forward and told him everything.
Jesus looked at her with love and said,
"Daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace."
Her story teaches us that Jesus sees the lonely, the sick, and the forgotten.
And he invites us to come close to him with faith,
especially when we are weary,
burdened,
and in need of healing.
Job faced terrible setbacks. He lost his wealth, his children, his health, and even received discouraging words from his wife and friends. Though his friends blamed him and tried to explain his suffering, Job remained faithful to God. He did not understand everything happening around him, but he refused to curse God and instead declared that the name of the Lord should be blessed. Like Job, we may face pain, loss, and hardship, but we must choose to cling to God rather than blame or reject him. Even in dark times, we should remember that God's love is sure, his care is constant, and our present troubles are temporary compared with eternity. Amen. The two disciples were deeply discouraged as they remembered Jesus' betrayal, suffering, death, and burial, wondering how everything had gone wrong. To them, the cross looked like the greatest setback, but they did not realize it was part of God's greatest plan of salvation. As they walked to Emmaus, Jesus came near and walked with them, though they did not recognize him at first. When their eyes were opened, they hurried back to share the good news that Jesus was alive. This reminds us that in our setbacks, Jesus still walks with us, calms our doubts, and turns our pain into a testimony that can encourage others. See Jesus. A woman felt very discouraged and wished she could see Jesus and tell him all her troubles. A guide came and led her up a steep stairway, telling her to keep looking upwards so she would not fall. At the door, she left everything behind and entered. Then she saw Jesus full of love and kindness. Jesus knew all her pain, smiled at her, placed his hand on her head and said, "Fear not." His presence filled her heart with peace, joy, hope, and faith.
When you feel discouraged, keep your eyes on Jesus. Pray to Him and trust His love. Dear Jesus, help me to look up to You in difficult times. Remove my fear, strengthen my faith, and fill my heart with peace and hope. Amen.